Hello and welcome to another stream of Control to continue my music tribute playthrough. Hello there, Anmita. I'm doing well, thank you, dude. Doing some more control today. There's two main story missions I want to do back to back, because the second mission after this one has a song by Poets of the Fall that is epic. Been looking forward to doing that part of the game in this tribute for a very long time now. Cheers, dude. How's things going with you today? I hope work is going well. In Mitra, it's going well. You finished your workout and now you're about to go to sleep. Very nice, dude. That's really good. Glad to hear that it all went well. And how's Horizon Forbidden Never Ends? In Mitra, it's going well. Still far off, but you managed to get 4 achievements today. You're currently 71% through. It seems close, but far at the same time. Yeah, I know how that can feel with some games as well. It's like that with Valhalla sometimes. It's like, well, I did 5 story arcs and there's 10 more left. Yeah, and me too. It's like, come on, game, pick up the pace a bit. These fucking asshole enemies. It's too busy shooting the enemies far away when there's like a horde right next to me. And me too, you completed a main quest and you thought it would have some weight, but no, 1% weight? Holy shit. That's bad. Hello there, Dumbledore. How's things today? Oh, very nice, Dumbledore. Glad to hear that it's going good. Okay, so in this motel, the audio from the radio is actually tied to the sound effects.
Suomenlahden länsiosa, Pohjois-Itämeri, etelän ja lounaan välistä tuulta 5–12, ajoittain noin 14 metriä sekunnissa. Myöhemmin iltapäivällä ja illalla suunnaltaan vaihtelevaa tuulta 4–6 metriä sekunnissa. Yöstä alkaen tuuli tyyntyy. Hyvä näkyvyys. Selkämeren eteläosa 6–10 metriä sekunnissa. Yöllä tuuli väliaikaisesti tyyntyy. Hyvä näkyvyys. Selkämeren pohjoisosa, merenkurkku ja perämeri suunnaltaan vaihtelevaa tuulta 3–6 metriä sekunnissa. Ja hyvä näkyvyys. Sää rannikkoasemilla tänään kello 11. Kotka-Rankki 16 astetta. Tyyntä, utua, näkyvyys yli 20 kilometriä. Kalboda Grund 15, selkeää, yli 20. Helsinki Katajoluoto 18, Eteläkaakko 4, utua, yli 20. Bogaskär 17, Kaakko 3, melkein selkeää, yli 20. Russarö 18, tyyntä, pilvistä, yli 20. Ristna 16, etelä 5, puolipilvistä, yli 20. Uuttyö 18, etelä 3, melkein selkeää, yli 20. Nyham 17, Kaakko 4, selkeää, yli 20.
Enmity, looking forward to playing this game again. Oh, that's good, dude. It's always good to look forward to something when you've experienced it before and you know that you'll enjoy it. But also, if there's any annoying parts, then if you've forgotten, the game will remind you. You'll be like, da 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 da, what the fuck, this section, what the hell? Oh, that's right, this was a difficult part. Dumbledore, you played the beginning of this game, then got lost and gave up. That's totally fair, dude. Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, the time it might take to potentially get somewhere might not feel like it's worthy enough to spend that time, you know. Um, and then some games are very, very kind of like they're not 100% clear necessarily about stuff. And this game is, you know, there's a lot going on in it too as well. Even if you don't know any of the Alan Wake stuff, there's a lot of stuff in this game on its own that has a lot of aspects to it, and the story can be confusing and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, me too. It's always funny like that. It's like your mind just wants to block out those parts of the game that were terrible, so that you can just remember the good parts. And then when you play it again, you're like, this section, bloody hell. It's times like this that I wish I actually understood different languages, because without subtitles, I don't know if what and I'm assuming it's Artie on the radio. I don't know when what he's saying is ending, or if he's just repeating the same dialogue at a certain point as well. I wish they would actually add subtitles in these moments too. I know that they probably prioritize the subtitles of, what Jesse says and all that kind of stuff. But if the player sort of like stops near the radio long enough, I think that's when the subtitles should come up. But that's very tricky to gauge too, because is the player standing there because they want to listen to the radio, or are they standing there because they're just confused what to do? So it's a bit tricky, I guess, as well. But I guess making all the radios something that you have to interact with, like the ones that have songs on them, you have to actively activate them, and then you'll get like the music, but you won't get the subtitles for the lyrics, which is a shame. But with radios like this in the game, it would have been good if it was something you interacted with, because then for sure the game would know, so the player's interacting with this. We better throw the subtitles up for that as well. So yeah, I don't actually know what is being said on the radio here, so I don't know if this is just one big long string of dialogue, or if it's actually dialogue that is just looping. And me too, you're like, oh, this shitty level, I remember it now. That's true. Sometimes you can get your revenge though, especially if it's a new game plus. You can just walk in there and like, yeah, this section is nothing now.
Kotka Sandön 20, Tyyntä, selkeää, yli 20. Märket 19, Kaakko-Etelä 4, melkein selkeä, yli 20. Rauma Kuuska Jaskari 16, Lounas 5, selkeää, yli 20. Mäntyluoto 20, Kaakko 2, puolipilvistä, yli 20. Moikipää 18, Luode 4, melkein selkeää.
I was just thinking, what are the oh, I can't actually see here. It can only be changed in the main menu. I was just curious to see what other spoken languages you can switch the game to. Subtitles. Sign translation overlay. Oh yeah, I know what that means. Yeah, there's no real option for changing. Oh yeah, you can, but you can only do it in the main menu, of course. You can only change the text language or the spoken language in the main menu. I mean, that's fair as well. In Mita, you understand that it is finished, but you don't understand any words. Yeah, that's the thing too. Like you can detect a different language and what language it is, but the words themselves, unless there's a place name that in that language it sounds similar to how the name is pronounced in English, you know, like Helsinki. I understood that when he said that place name. Hey there, Schiller. Thank you very, very much, dude, for the 205th stream streak. That is excellent. Thank you very much for that, dude. Wow, 205. You woke up way too early. Oh, I hate when that happens, especially if you don't need to be up early and you accidentally wake up way too early. I'm doing well, thank you, Schiller. Things are going good. Doing this main story mission now. The one after it has a really cool song by Poets of the Fall. Looking forward to that one. I think the full song goes for 7 minutes or so. But it's one of those things in the video game where it'll change depending on how fast or slow you're going through the sections. How's things with you, dude? How was the rest of A Plague Tale Requiem? I was away from keyboard when you ended the stream, so I don't know how the rest of it went. But what do you think of the game so far? There's definitely a few changes from the previous one. Sheila, from now on, all dialogue runs in all languages. Exactly, yeah. I mean, hey, it'd be one thing to do, like for people who actually speak another language, to have a game that is played in their own language that they might not have played before. I mean, that could be That could be good to do. I mean, I'd be willing to do that stuff because I've played through games with different languages before, but I just wouldn't know for some languages when to stop. I mean, with subtitles in English, you do get an opportunity to at least tell when the words that are being said are either looping or stopping. Dobodor, you're on a three streaks, Si. Well, still, thank you very much for that, Dobodor. You know, it's still appreciated, even if it's a one streak, you know. But I understand too if getting to a certain amount of streaks and then losing it would be frustrating. In Mita, you believe it's mostly gibberish because he repeats some of the words many times. Oh, cool. Thanks for letting me know, in Mita. Yeah, that'll really help because then I'll know for sure that I can sort of just, cut it off.
Yli 20. Palassaaret 15, Etelä 6, Selkeää, yli 2 pistettä. Pietarsaari Nissäär 14, Etelä-Lounas 6, Selkeää, yli 2 pistettä. Ulkokalla 14, Tyyntä, Selkeää, yli 20.
Okay, so we'll turn the sound effects back off. Sheila, you're good. Plague Tale was good. Got 3 chapters done. You like the linear storyline. You miss a big marker that tells you where to go. You don't know yet what you think of the different skills and how you unlock them. Glad to hear that you're going good, dude. That's a fair thing too, as well. It is a bit tricky to get used to. In general, I do like the idea of depending on your play style, that's what you'll get XP in, and it'll improve stuff as well. At the same time, it doesn't allow you to always choose your play style to then make sure that you're getting XP. So in a way that they do gate it a bit as well. That's actually something that I feel would have been good in an Assassin's Creed game that was actually about a character who grows up in the Assassins, and the story wouldn't just be simply cut to when they were older and then, they're doing assassinations, but and it wouldn't have to stay with them the whole time in that particular setting. Even it could even be like certain things would be flashbacks as well. But I've always envisioned an Assassin's Creed game where it was also about showing the assassins actually learning the philosophy behind the creed, not just learning how to kill, which is obviously important, but I wanted to see that kind of thing. And so I feel like in a game like that, it'd be good to have this thing where if you're only doing stealth stuff, then you're going to get better and better at stealth stuff and unlock new sort of like skills. Whereas if you're doing the approach that is more kind of like out in the open a bit, then you'll develop more skills, or even just climbing stuff. Like the more you climb, the better your character gets at climbing. So that's the kind of thing that I would like to see in an Assassin's Creed game. But yeah, Plague Tale Requiem, um, having the separation between abilities and the tools, like the upgrades as well, makes it tricky thinking about like a no upgrade challenge with it. Sheila, it feels like the chapters are longer in this game. Oh, absolutely, Sheila. Yeah, yeah, there definitely is a lot of parts. Like you get those moments where it'll fade to white, but it won't be signaling the end of the chapter. It'll just be like an intermission kind of thing or transition. Hey there, Lucinda. Good evening. It's good to say good evening sometimes instead of good morning. I'm doing well, thanks. We're doing this main story mission, the one that's before the take control sequence in the ashtray maze. So I've been looking forward to this one, this next mission for the music tribute. How's things been going with you? Sheila, yeah, you see that. That's why you like AC2 and Brotherhood a lot. Of course, you get the skills mostly from the get-go, but you can see Ezio's character development. Exactly, Sheila, I think making things back to basics would also be a good idea too, as well, in the sense that it's very easy for the games to get too caught up in things like the Isu and also to get caught up in elements that are important for the time period, but may not necessarily sustain an entire story. That's how I feel about Valhalla. Like, I feel like the whole thing with the Vikings wanting to go to England and that setup, that's all fine, that's all good. And the early story arcs and wanting to actually establish alliances with, Ivar and Ubar, that kind of stuff. But once it gets to the point where those early alliances are forged, I feel like the alliance map thing should have actually gone to the background, and other story arcs should have been optional, and you didn't have to do them. Only the ones that were pertaining to the Order of the Ancients or the early ones forging alliances would be necessary to do, and then all the rest would just be all the arcs related to those other elements that are probably the stronger parts of the story, I would say. Lucinda, nice. Things are going well for me. You had a pretty easy workday overall. 2 more days until the weekend. Hell yeah. That's really good, Lucinda. I'm glad to hear that things are going well. It's always good when you get those kinds of days too. Hopefully the next 2 days until the weekend will be the same. Schiller, with Assassin's Creed in its current state, you just wait for the series to die. You like Origins a lot, but the RPG elements that were implemented since that game is horrible for the series. That's definitely fair, Schiller. I feel like with any franchise, it's understandable to have a cut-off point where you just say, nah, I'm good. And that's kind of where I am. I still, want to see good games and stuff in the series, but my willingness to just jump ahead and pre-order and jump in and buy on day one, that's definitely gone. It's more a case of sitting back, waiting, checking out things. If it looks like it might be decent, then I'll, still wait a bit, things like that. But I feel like too, once a franchise starts to lose its identity, it makes it hard to keep those players who were there for the previous identity to actually still be there as well. And this is the thing, it's natural that you want more people to become a fan of something. You want to get people with different tastes to maybe play those games. But then again, there's also things where you just cannot simply please anyone, you know? Like if you've done a series of games that are stealth based, and then you say, okay, we're completely taking out the stealth because there's people who don't like stealth, and so we want people who don't like stealth to like our game, so we need to get rid of the stealth. And then the people who like the stealth are like, what about us? And they're like, well, sorry, but we want the new people who don't like stealth to like our series. It's just, it's counterproductive, you know. And I feel like with anything, if someone's going to be a fan of something, they will become a fan of it. There's no use trying to force it. There's no use trying to bait and switch for it. There's no point in doing that, you know. If you want to do something completely different, create a new IP or do a spin-off game that doesn't have any connections or ties to any important stuff because there's so many figures in history that had a life and then nothing notable happened, you know. So there's a lot of opportunity in the Assassin's Creed series to do stories about unknown people in history who may not have existed, but you create a new character and you give them their own backstory, you give them their own story within the wider conflict of the assassins versus Templars. And if you want to make it an RPG game, then you go ahead and do that. But to make the main entries become something that the others weren't, you know, you can still get new people by sticking to what works and just trying to come up with stuff that actually still fits as well. It's like if you've got a 1,000 piece picture puzzle, all those pieces were designed in a way to make sure that they would all fit. So once you've put that puzzle together and it's all solid, if someone comes along with a completely different piece from a different puzzle and looks at what you've done and they're like, I don't like this. I think it needs to have this piece added. And they just shove it in there, it's going to make the whole picture ruined because it's not a piece that was designed for it. However, if it's an extension of the image, then it's okay to add that because it just takes what already exists, that's already in a solid state, that's already stable, and just adds an extra element to it that actually matches. In Meta, I want to see the alliance map. I want to see it now. It's like, get it tattooed on the inside of your eyelids. You'll be able to see the alliance map all the time. Shiloh, Lucinda's project after Requiem, the alliance map. Yeah, I can just imagine Lucinda doing a stream where she's printed out the alliance map and she just rips it up into pieces on stream. And there's like, there we go, there's your alliance map. Etone, you liked Valhalla, but you just got bored and probably won't finish it, lol. You wish it was shorter, but with a new game plus. How's it going, Etone? I don't blame you one bit. That's another ridiculous thing, too. Because Origins and Odyssey, they added it. It wasn't something that came out with it, but they added it. So that meant that it was built to allow it. But then with Valhalla, for some reason, they decided, let's not worry about making sure that it can happen. We'll just make the game without it being compatible with a New Game Plus later on, which I don't get, you know, because having New Game Plus in Assassin's Creed is definitely a good idea, you know, especially because it allows you to re-experience the story and it allows you to re-experience things in a shorter way too, because some stuff gets skipped, especially if it's like, you know, prologue stuff. Oh, I just remembered too. The other day I was talking about this and I forgot which game actually gave you the option on a New Game Plus run whether you wanted to skip the intro or still include it. And I couldn't remember the name of the game. And it was Assassin's Creed Mirage. So in that game, with its New Game Plus, if you just want to get straight into the part, I think it cuts to when he's already arriving in Baghdad, I think. So if you want to skip that whole intro, you can, or you can include it as part of your New Game Plus run as well. So I like having that option. Sheila, you will focus more on the Mafia series, a bit more over Assassin's Creed. Nice story-driven games that aren't too long or too short. That's a good idea, Sheila. It's definitely good to just go with what you feel and what you're in the mood for too, as well, and have a look at stuff that that you're also passionate about. That you know you can do more focus on. Listen, do you have an idea of what you would do after Requiem, but you're probably going to take a weekend off of streaming, getting behind on housework, blah. That's fair too, as well. Yeah, it's a good idea because then also it'll allow you to more time to think about what you might want to play next. Hey there, AC. Tacos, that is all. Carry on. Those damn things are so delicious. So, so delicious. How's it going, AC? I hope things are going well. Yeah, and Mitra and Lucinda, it's like, here's the alliance map. Before and after, all in pieces. Hello there, Scar. How's things? Sheila, Shadows also gives you the option to skip the 3 hour movie intro in New Game Plus. Well, that's good to know, Sheila. That's a definitely good idea. There should be a version of that game where they take out all the cheesy, like I don't know, 60s surfer music or other stuff that they've got in there. It's just it's like I'm sorry, but you're not Quentin Tarantino and Kill Bill. Like the way that Kill Bill did it, it does it with in a way that actually matches and suits what's going on. But the way that they did it in Shadows is just like, let's just throw this shit to the wall and see what sticks. Scar, did you give up on sleeping? I didn't, no. Yeah, still sleeping. Sometimes I go to bed a bit earlier these days than I have been before, and that allows me to do these early streams. Inmita, alright, time to go to sleep now. Have a great stream, catch you later. Thank you very, very much, Inmita. I hope that you have a good one. Thank you for being here. Would like to highly recommend people check out Inmita's channel. He's doing a playthrough of Horizon Forbidden West, also doing Elder Scrolls Online, as well as the first Alan Wake game. He's playing the remastered version. A great streamer, so definitely recommend. And that's no worries at all, Inmita, for the shout out, dude. No trouble at all. I hope you have a good one. Would also like to highly recommend people check out AC, who is playing through the Outlast Trials, which is technically the third Outlast game. It's a prequel to the first two, and he's also a streamer of games like Conan Exiles, as well as GTA Online. Lucinda, you'll have Pete draw you a gif of Leon blowing up the Alliance map with a rocket launcher. Now that would be great. Absolutely. E-Tone, you finally got your new PC set up. It's 470 Ti Super build. You got so many games to replay with the new graphics and features, lol. Very nice, E-Tone. That'd be a great feeling too, as well. And there might be some games that before you might not have been able to experience it at its fullest quality, but now you get to. That'd be a great thing too. All right, so that might be audio tied to the sound effects. Okay, so that's on and that's off. Or maybe that's all that happens, but I still want to test it though. So I'll turn those back off and then I'll put the sound effects back on, just so we can hear what might be on those radios. Scar, what is your time now? Here is 1 a.m. Oh yes, so 1 a.m. for you. It's 11:08 a.m. here at the moment. Sheila, you hope to watch me play the Mafia games one day. Maybe there will be a PlayStation Plus at some point. Oh yeah, Sheila, that's a series that I've definitely wanted to get into. I'm sort of like waiting to see if I want to do the original versions of Mafia 1 and 2 first, because I do have the definitive edition versions of both of those already, and I've sort of been a bit on the fence about Mafia 3, but I want to give that a fair shake too as well. It's only because I've seen some gameplay of it, and I don't know if I would have the same interest in it as the other two, but definitely willing to give that one a shot still as well, because it does have a lot of elements that look like it might be good to experience too. Hello there, Ryu. How's things going today, dude?
Suomenlahden itäosa aluksi Kaakon.
Oh, nice, Ryu. You going well? Awesome.
Sillä kuuluu lukuista hyvänä. Suomenlahden länsiosa, Pohjois-Itämeri, etelän ja lounan välistä tuulta 5–12. Ajoittain noin 14
All right, so it's
metriä
RT's
sekunnissa.
talking again.
Myöhemmin iltapäivällä ja illalla suunnaltaan vaihtelevaa tuulta 4–6 metriä sekunnissa. Yöstä alkaen tuuli piirtyy. Hyvä näkymä. Kulkeminen etelältä 6–10 metriä sekunnissa. Yöllä tuuli välillä hyvä näkymys. Selkämeren pohjoisosa, merenkurkku ja perämeri suunnaltaan vaihtelevaa tuulta 3–6 metriä sekunnissa. Ja hyvä näkymys. Sää rannikkoasemilla tänään kello 11. Kotka rankki 16 astetta.
All right, so turn the sound effects off now. The timing's pretty good to have Jessie wearing the janitor's assistant outfit, because Artie is the one that gives her the Walkman to be able to actually access the ashtray maze. It would help, Rod, if you actually picked up the keys. Whoops. Shilla, Mafia 2 OG and Definitive Edition are basically the same, just updated graphics and more collectibles for the Definitive Edition. OG Mafia 1 has a different story elements and 2 or 3 different missions that the Definitive Edition hasn't. Oh, that's interesting. That's the thing too between a remake and the original, like any additional stuff that they make for that. But thanks for the heads up on that, dude. I mean, I don't even know how I get access to the original versions anyway. I don't even know if they're backwards compatible on the Xbox. I mean, they might be, so that might be something to look into. Sheila, one game you try to get your hand onto are the Godfather games. You played them a lot in the 2000s, but they aren't distributed anymore, unfortunately. That is unfortunate, and I didn't realize they did more than one, actually, because I saw that they had done one, but not that they had done a couple of Godfather games. But it's interesting when they take those movies and turn them into games too. There was also a couple of games that weren't based particularly on a specific movie, but I think they were inspired by Guy Ritchie movies, um, and they were called The Getaway and The Getaway 2 as well. Essentially, it was similar to GTA, same similar kind of driving and combat mechanics and stuff. But I remember the first one was the only one I played, and there were some really difficult sections. I never actually finished it. But it had this interesting thing, I think, from memory, where when you were actually following waypoints on a map, the game would automatically make the left or right blinker go on in the car to let you know when you had to turn. So I thought that was quite an interesting way to do it. Listen to that's neat. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool when they come up with sort of like different ways to convey stuff. And it sort of like makes it so that it adds a little bit of a layer of realism in a way. Sheila, they did too. The second one starts with the overthrow of Batista on Cuba, and you get to build your own small family. Oh, that's really cool. That's the thing too that can be tough about doing a game based on a movie, is trying to find a point in the narrative where you can go off and add some extra stuff. Remember that money jobs, even best pals, will come and go. But family is forever. Thank you, Sheila, for redeeming that as an Arnie impression. Is that one from Godfather Part 1 or 2? Because I've only actually seen those movies once. A long time ago now. Oh, Mafia Part 1, the protagonist's last line. Ah, gotcha, dude. I remember watching some videos of someone who used to be in the Mafia analyzing scenes from the Mafia games. I think there was one where there's this heist that you pull off, or there's some mission where it goes to hell and then there's like a big shootout and all that kind of stuff. I think they said that the likelihood of that happening in that way, in that sort of like specific kind of like frenzy, was, very, very rare. Sheila, the infamous farm mission, that was brutal in the original game. Or was it, dude? I was talking to Mita earlier about games where you enjoyed it, but there's moments that you might forget about that were really annoying. And then when you finally replay the game and you get to those points again, you're like, oh shit, this part. Hey there, Not Fry, welcome. Very early stream today. Yeah, yeah, I wanted to get two of these missions into the one stream back to back because the next one after this one has a really great song by Poets of the Fall, and it's a really, really kind of trippy part of the game too, visually as well. So I've been looking forward to that part. How's things going, dude? Sheila, yeah, you had to do several shootouts with no checkpoint. The remake has luckily checkpoints. Oh, dude, that kind of stuff in games, like the amount of time it takes each time to get back to where you were before, can be brutal too. Makes me think about that playthrough of Alien Isolation I did where I couldn't manually save and had to rely purely on the auto saves. Some of those moments, it was like, will I get through it? Will I get through it? And dead. Okay, have to redo it all over again. Not Fry, things are going okay. Thanks for asking. That's awesome, Not Fry. Glad to hear that things are going well. Yeah, listen, it's one of those things. It's like that section where you have this long stretch of corridor and you go to one end of the room area thing and then you do what you need to do and then you go back to where you need to get through and then the power goes out. So then you have to go all the way back to the other area and then once that's done you have to go all the way back to the other spot. It's like, damn. And before all that, well, if you die and you haven't manually saved, then you have to redo all that again from the start of that portion. Sheila, you need to get to Alien Isolation this year. Oh, very nice, dude. That'll be good to see you play that game. Sheila, but currently you're replaying Mafia the Old Country off stream. You like it a lot, so many Easter eggs to the other games. Oh, that's a nice thing too, as well. Foreshadowing stuff potentially, and also maybe creating new connections that when you replay the other games, you might go, oh, that's a cool connection. Sheila, you try to get some more sleep in. It's only 1:30 a.m. here. Have a good stream and I'll catch you later. Absolutely, Sheila. Definitely understandable. I really hope you get some good rest. Thank you. I definitely will have a good stream. Would also like to highly recommend people check out Shillalog's channel. He's doing playthroughs of games like Resident Evil Requiem, as well as A Plague Tale Requiem. Two Requiems there, playing through that game. He also played through the first game, A Plague Tale Innocence, in recent times too. Also a fan of the Assassin's Creed and Mafia series as well. A great streamer, so definitely recommend. And that's all good for the shout out, Shilla. Get some good sleep, dude, and catch you again next time. Perhaps in Japan. Ghost of Sushi. Alright, so we can't actually hear it because it's tied to the sound effects audio, but we just unlocked the actual song itself. So I'm going to play this song through this way. This is Senkoren Tango, Heroes Tango. And it's even tied to the sound effects volume in this menu too. Interesting. That's easily fixed. Yeah, listen, it's so funny, things that you go, oh yeah, this should be on the music track. Then it's not. Then you're like, okay, this is playing in game, but it should be tied to the sound effects track. But surely if I go into the actual file, it should play it on the music track. But nope.
Todeksi luulin, merta kerran runon lausui hän. Mysteerin sen syövereissä vietti elämän. Alla synkän valtameren varjois vaeltaa. Etsi tietä valon luokse armaan ainiaan. Yksin sankar yön syvemmälle matkaa pois. Se taakka hänen harteillaan kuin lupaus aina ois. Täs pelissä tää narri lyödään maan aina vaan hetki kuolos lepo suodaan jo takas kutsutaan. Aika särkyy ikuisuuteen, laukaus kajahtaa. Ei onnellista loppua hän kohtaa milloinkaan. Niin monta kertaa kerrottu tää tarina jo on. Sankarilla 1000 kasvoo, polku lohduton. Yksin sankar yön syvemmälle matkaa pois. Se taakka hänen harteillaan kuin lupaus aina ois. Täs pelissä tää narri lyödään maan aina vaan hetki kuolos lepo suodaan jo takas kutsutaan. Täs pelissä tää narri lyödään maan aina vaan hetki kuolos lepo suodaan jo takas kutsutaan.
And there we go. That was Sankoren Tango, Heroes Tango. I've put a link in chat there to the wiki that has the Finnish lyrics and also the English translated ones. It's a bit lower on the page, and these lyrics, original and translated, come from a live performance of this song posted on the official Control Remedy YouTube channel. And I'll put a link in chat to the actual video as well. And also, these are the lyrics in English. Once he mistook an ocean for a lake. He told us in a poem. In the depths of that mystery he spent his whole life. Under a dark ocean, in the shadows he wanders, searching for a way back into the light to his loved one. Alone, the hero continues his journey into the night, that burden on his shoulders forever like a promise. In this game, this fool is struck down again and again, only a moment's rest in death before he's called back again. Time breaks into eternity, a gunshot echoes. There's never a happy end for him. This story has been told many times before. The hero has 1,000 faces and a hopeless path. Alone, the hero continues his journey into the night, that burden on his shoulders forever like a promise. In this game, this fool is struck down again and again, only a moment's rest in death before he's called back again. And that mentioned lyric of the hero has 1,000 faces. That's referencing a book by, I think it was Joseph W. Campbell, that talked about the hero's journey, that a lot of stories either have the whole thing or they have elements of it as well. So yeah, it was called The Hero with 1,000 Faces, first published in 1949. So yeah, certain movies and novels and all that kind of stuff have elements of this structure as well. One of the examples is like a character who is approached by a mentor figure who offers them the chance to get out of their ordinary life and experience something extraordinary. And at first, the character might be a bit ambivalent about it, not trusting or not confident that they're gonna, be able to do or go through the journey. And then something happens, an inciting incident, whether that's a loved one unfortunately getting killed, or there's an accident, or there's some kind of dream or vision that the character might have. For example, for Luke Skywalker in Star Wars A New Hope, when Obi-Wan Kenobi offers him to fight the Empire and to go help Princess Leia, Luke rejects it at first because he's like, I'm working on this farm, I've got to do all these chores and all this kind of stuff. But when his aunt and uncle are killed by stormtroopers, that's when he decides that he's going to actually follow Obi-Wan Kenobi. And you got heaps of, things. Even Lord of the Rings has it with Gandalf and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's the English translation of the song Hero's Tango, referencing Alan Wake stuff and also the hero's journey and all that kind of stuff. Hello again there, Dex. It would appear our sun and moon cycles have flipped. Absolutely. That's the great thing about time zone differences and different parts of the world as well. Welcome on in. I hope things are going good. Dex, going great. Just getting in a little gaming yourself. Oh, very nice. That's good to hear. And I hope that you've had a good gaming session as well. Dex, it's going well. Yep, a little Hogwarts Legacy. It's a fun wind down game for you. Oh, very nice. It's good to have those games that you can also just relax to as well. That's really cool. Okay, so no new dialogue with Emily yet. Listen to you in a rod stream. Preposterous. Yeah, nice to see you for the first time in chat. Now this part. Been looking forward to doing this in this playthrough.
find you when I had the chance. Instead I danced with death in further skin. I missed the moment before the fall to recognize I had always choice to stop it all from happening. I wish I had the wherewithal to find you when I had the chance. Instead I danced with death in further skin. I missed the moment before the fall to recognize I had always choice to stop it all from happening. I wish I had the wherewithal to find you when I had the chance. Instead I danced with death in further skin. and the rising green fading in the children play. Twilight games into rages of real fantasy. For evil holds you in its arms for so long.
Indeed, it was, Jesse. Would like to highly recommend people check out Lucinda's channel if you haven't before. Lucinda's been doing Resident Evil Requiem, been doing a few playthroughs with that game, is a big fan of the Resident Evil series, also enjoys games like the Dishonored series, as well as The Last of Us and also Dead Island and Dying Light. A great streamer, so definitely recommend. I hope that you have a good one, Lucinda. Thank you for being here. Hey there, Spicy Chicken. It's your boy, Anxiety Andy. Well, I hope things get better for you. Welcome on in. So that was Take Control by Poets of the Fall, playing as the old gods of Asgard. So the full song, uninterrupted, goes for 7 minutes and 57 seconds. In that whole sequence, there was a few things that were making it difficult. Number one, trying not to die. I didn't want the music to be interrupted at all, and dying, of course, would do that. The second thing, which actually worked out well, is that normally when you launch objects and all that kind of stuff, the music will distort, but for this song, that didn't happen. So I eventually figured that out and was able to use things like shield and grab objects and throw them and all that kind of stuff. The third thing, it's very difficult to know what trigger points are actually when one section will end and then the other one will begin. And keeping the loop going and all that kind of stuff, trying to figure out where the loop would end and where it would start, and when to start moving when the loop was at a certain point, to make sure that when I got to another point that the loop didn't actually get interrupted by the next section starting. There was only one part where that happened, where I didn't know where the trigger was for the next section of the music. And so what happened was, the portion of the music that was playing before hitting the trigger point was interrupted and overlapped and distorted by the new section coming in that had lyrics attached to the starting point of it. And so that created a little bit of a discrepancy there between the transition from one section to another. But I think that was pretty good. Like, that was a decent sort of like showcasing of the song as you go through the game and you play it and all that kind of stuff. And a detail I didn't notice before was the shoes in front of all the doors. Normally when I play this game, all the sounds are on and I'm focused on the enemies and also focused on trying to get the song to relatively play in full, but not to the same extent and precision that I was aiming for in this playthrough, of course. This is a special playthrough, so I wanted to try and make sure I got as much of that song as possible without being interrupted. And with the exception of that part where the lyrics of the section came in and distorted and overlapped the previous section's music, I was pretty happy with that. Didn't die, which didn't cause a break in the music and an interruption and all that kind of stuff. And even though that error did happen, I didn't want to just restart the checkpoint because that would interrupt things as well. So what I'm going to do next, though, is actually play the song uninterrupted as it is in this save file. And then that way it'll be the full version of the song. Something else that was interesting, I had the lyrics video open, and because of the way that they've programmed the sections of the music in the game itself, it meant that the lyric order that you see in the video is not the order that it goes in the actual gameplay when you're actually doing it. It actually would have lyrics from one section of the song in one part of the gameplay, and then when it switched to another part of a different section, it would then jump to either further in the actual song to pick lyrics from that point or further back in the song, and it would loop the lyrics as well, which definitely helped having the lyric video open and being able to see the lyrics and hear the lyrics at the same time to know, okay, so this is repeating lyrics now and all that kind of stuff. So that was doing that with the gameplay and the song take control. Now we're going to listen to the full song uninterrupted without gameplay. Alright, so they've tied this to the sound effects in the actual audio in the file. Alright, so I'll have to make that change. It was just like the song Heroes Tango, where they did the same thing. So I'll put the sound effects back on so the music in the file version actually plays.
Can't you see the light is fading?
Alright, so that's that song uninterrupted outside of gameplay. Okay, now that I've done those two variations, both in gameplay and out of gameplay, turn the sound effect volume off. Okay, so this is the second last main story mission, and when you finish this main story mission, it automatically jumps you into the next and final main story mission. However, I don't actually want to do that in this stream. In fact, this stream was only going to be a short one, and so what I'm going to do is actually call it a stream for today. I'm going to go and see if I can come back through this way. Okay, so the game's not letting me. I have to see if there's a control point that I can access. Ah, here we go. Good. Nice. All right. So we'll go to the central executive. So this was a very short stream, but I wanted to put those two missions together so we could have both of them without a separation between both. I wanted the music take control section to be done back to back. Before I end the stream, I just want to give some shout outs. I will be back later with Ghost of Tsushima as well, but that'll be a few hours away. Would like to highly recommend people check out the following streamers: AC, who's been doing some Outlast trials, Inmita is going through Horizon Forbidden West, Lucinda has been doing playthroughs of Resident Evil Requiem, QuickDex has been doing a playthrough of Cyberpunk 2077, Scar plays World of Warcraft, and Shillerlock is doing a playthrough for the first time of A Plague Tale Requiem. Definitely recommend checking out those streamers if you haven't before. So as for when I'll be back with Ghost of Tsushima, my current time is 12:43 p.m. and so I'm going to take quite a few hours break before coming back with Ghost of Tsushima. So what I might do is take a 3-hour and 15-minute break. So I'll be back after that with Ghost of Tsushima. Definitely understandable that not everyone watching this stream who's interested in Ghost of Tsushima will be able to make it to that stream, but thank you very much for watching this one. I really appreciate it. The next stream of Control will be my early Friday stream of it, but the next stream you'll see from me today will be Ghost of Tsushima. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that everyone has a good one, and I'll be back in 3 hours and 15 minutes with Ghost of Tsushima.